All right, boys and girls, we are going to start off with this complicated problem. I am not going to do the explanation in the same video because this is complicated enough that it's going to be a long enough video just for the beginning parts. Remember, we're going to read it sentence by sentence to try to figure out what we have to do. T has $1,075 in his savings. All right. Do you know what savings are? It means that's how much money he has saved. That's how much money he has. So we know this is what he's got. He wants to go to space camp for $599 and basketball camp for $250. So he wants to go to 2 camps. So camp 1, let's call it camp space, is $599, and camp basketball, we'll call that camp B because I take my notes, is $250. So he's going to 2 camps. Is it reasonable to say that Tristan will have about $500 left after he pays? Well, let's look. Is it reasonable is the question that we're asking. When somebody asks you, is that reasonable? Your answer is either going to be yes or no. That's important. My answer is going to be yes or no, and then I'm going to have to explain why. So is it reasonable? Yes. Is it reasonable? No. They're not actually asking me for a number right there. Is it reasonable to say that Tristan will have about 500? About is a math word. It means you're going to be doing what? Rounding. About 500 left after he pays. When you pay for something, do you end up with more money or less? When you go to the store, your parents pay for something, are they like, yay, now I have more money? Are they like, boo, now I have less money? Less money. If the number's getting smaller, what 2 operations do we pick from? Division or subtraction. What makes sense? Subtraction. So we are going to start with Tristan's money, and then we're going to subtract. But I have to remember that about. So let's round this to the nearest 100. Okay? So we've got, underline the 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, round them down, that's for sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, round them up every time. That 0 goes up. What's up from 0? Yeah, that's a 1. So we're going to go to 1. Everything before it stays the same. Everything after it turns to 0. So that's about how much he starts with. Now he pays for some things. He pays for Camp S. What does this one round to? Nearest 100? You've got the steps. And this one, the nearest 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, round them down, that's for sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now, if he wants to pay for this and that, and is what type of operation? I have this cookie and this cookie. So now I have more or less cookies. I have more. So I'm going to add. So now I have to take those 2 numbers, space camp, basketball camp. I'm going to pay for both of these together, and that's about 900 because I'm rounding. So now I've got to take what about I've paid and take it away from my savings. 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 0, 0, 1 minus 9. Can't do that. Well, you can do it. Gets you a negative number. We're not going to do that in 3rd grade. We steal from our neighbor. What's 11 minus 9? 200. But let's go back to that question. Is it reasonable to say he will have about 500 left? Is that reasonable? My answer is no. It is not reasonable. So in your explanation, you have to start that with the word no, it isn't reasonable. Then we would have to explain why. I'm going to explain why in the next video.